I ran from that house. But what if it's still inside me?
Martin always used to say, "Life only happens once, Alba. You've got to enjoy it." And I always believed him. That night was supposed to be just like any other. A dreamy night, just Martin and me, far away from everything and everyone. Martin said, "I want to show you a special place, my grandmother's house. There, it's just us, no one else around." I laughed and said, "Martin, you always have weird stuff up your sleeve." But really, his idea excited me. An old house, away from everything, just me and Martin. But when we reached that quiet road, I had a strange feeling, as if something in the darkness was waiting for us. Martin said, "Don't be afraid, Alba, don't be afraid. It's just an old house." His smile trembled for a moment, like he wasn't quite sure himself. It was so dark that I could barely see the road. Martin turned the music up, but I could only hear the wind, a sound that seemed to be whispering something. Martin put his hand on my knee and said, "My grandmother always said, this house has strange properties." I asked, "What kind of properties?" But he just laughed and said, "You'll understand everything tonight." That laugh of his, that laugh always made me uneasy. But that night, there was something in his voice, something that scared me even more. When we reached that house, my heart was racing. Martin pulled the chain and the gate groaned open. I heard something like a scream from far off. Martin laughed and said, "It was the wind." But I was sure, that sound, it was a scream. When we entered the house, a strange smell filled the air, like the smell of rotting wood. Martin came beside me and said, "Really wanted to see you here. I have good memories with you, and I truly want to be with you forever." His words made me feel good, and I wanted to hug him. But maybe it was a bit too soon. He then shared stories from university, and we laughed a lot together. We were really having fun, and I was happy to be there with him. I asked for a drink, and he quickly brought a bottle of wine from the shelf. Martin said, "This wine is my grandmother's special one. She said you should only share it with someone you trust." I didn't know why, but that wine seemed to have something inside it, something I shouldn't get close to. Martin filled his glass and said, "To the craziness of tonight." He smiled. But not the smile I knew. It was something else. I could completely feel the heaviness in the air. Martin looked at the mirror and whispered, "She's here." My breath was stuck in my chest. Behind Martin, there was something. I said, "Martin, what's going on here?" I put my glass down on the table and said, "No, Martin, I don't want to drink." He said, "You belong here too, Alba." I looked at the mirror and saw her. An old woman with pale skin and sunken eyes. She was looking at me and smiling. My heart was beating wildly. I could only run away. Sounds were coming from everywhere, from the doors, ceiling, and walls. Whispers, laughter. It felt like the house was alive. I reached the gate, but when I turned back, I saw Martin on the porch, laughing crazily. I pulled the chain and ran out of the house. From that cursed house, from those shadows, from Martin or whatever was left of him. I reached Catherine's door. My hand was trembling. I placed my finger on the bell and paused for a moment. The door opened, and Catherine's surprised and worried face appeared. Catherine asked in surprise, "Alba, what are you doing here at this time of night?" I felt like something was lurking outside. Without answering, I entered. Catherine closed the door. The warm light of the house made me feel a little safe, but I knew that feeling wasn't real. Fear still surged in my eyes. Catherine said, "Are you okay? You look like someone who saw a ghost." I put my hand on my forehead. I hadn't recovered from the shock yet. My breath was heavy, my mouth dry. "I have to tell you something. I was with Martin tonight. He took me to an old house, his grandmother's house." Suddenly, Catherine's face changed as if something inside her collapsed. She slowly lowered her hands and stared at me hesitantly. Catherine asked, "What did you say?" I said, "Martin, that house." Catherine, something wasn't right there. It had changed. He wasn't himself anymore.
I ran away from there, but still.
Suddenly, Catherine interrupted me. Catherine said, "Alba, Martin is dead." as if the air in the house suddenly turned cold. I stared at Catherine. I hadn't heard that, or maybe I didn't want to hear it. I said, "What, Catherine Alba? Martin died 3 years ago." The color drained from my face. My mind screamed that this wasn't true. This can't be possible. I was with him just tonight, in the car, in that house. That damn wine. If he was dead, then who was I with tonight? Catherine went to the kitchen. She took a photo frame from the drawer and placed it in front of me. The picture of Martin and his grandmother was visible in it. But what froze the blood in my veins was the background of the photo. The house I was in tonight, the same house, unchanged. I stood up with trembling hands. My eyes were wide open. My gaze fell on the date of the photo, 20 years ago. The house, unchanged. It was as if time had stopped there. Catherine continued softly, as if struggling to speak. After his grandmother's death, Martin lived in that house for a while and never returned. I felt dizzy. My breaths became shorter. Catherine said, "That house, they say he's still there. Still, he keeps those who reach it." My eyes filled with fear. My hand unconsciously went to the photo frame and I turned it over. On the back of the frame, a sentence was written in handwriting I knew well. "I will never forget you." My hands went numb. I looked at Catherine. Catherine said, "This writing, this is Martin's handwriting." My eyes fixed on the frame. My heart was pounding hard. Inside, something screamed that it wasn't over yet. The ink of the handwriting was still not dry.